because it's also, there's an issue about comfort. Most companies have probably done this all their lives. They do not know how to do it differently. And so once you start with the low-hanging fruits and then you get some comfort, then you're able now to be able to focus more on the other areas that you think are a bit critical, but you might like to outsource. You have to look at the cost-benefit analysis of, outsourcing. What are the risks of keeping it in-house, of outsourcing, and then slowly, walk towards that journey. But it is a journey. Once you start it, then, you get better and better with it.
Are there some of these non-core functions that you would not take on? For example, if you say, well, this is a non-core function for you, you come in and you do the due diligence and you say, well, we must weed this and out, but as SEBO, we will not take this one because maybe we don't either have the expertise for it or we feel that you could get better at it. Do you give that kind of advice
Absolutely,
as well?
Yes. I mean, we know what we're good at and we know what our partners are good at. So there are items that we do not touch, but we can point you in the right direction. And we just, again, remember, this is about being, doing what you're good at. And so we will not do something that, we're not sure or we're not good at. So we already have services that we offer. We'll continue to offer those services. And what we know that there's a better partner in the market, we point you in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so let's take a scenario where you come into company X and they have all these functions that they operate alongside their core. And obviously they need help. There's a hemorrhage in some part here or there. So, okay, let's take away some of this cost from you by, outsourcing some of your functions. And you're using, or are you using, the very same resources that are available in terms of human resources and saying, we will outsource, but we're going to use your people and bring them under us to now do the same job. How does that exactly work? Do you remove the same people, or do those people leave the organization? Do you bring in your own people? How does that process then?
So again, in most cases, some of the people will come over to us, and in some cases, they may elect not to come over to organization, and this is how it works. So we would not take out over people and put them in a worse-off situation. They will always be having, the same remuneration and so on and so forth. However, when you come over to SEBO, because we have so many clients, your career growth is pretty much assured, as opposed to in one organization where, you were doing something and you really hit a glass ceiling because the company is not expanding. For example, if you're working in, say, Standard Group and, you're the security manager, for example, the likelihood of you being the managing director of the group, it can happen, but, it probably difficult.
There's a lower probability.
There's a lower probability. But in our case, when you come over to SEBO, you can be the managing director of SEBO. Why? Because this is what we do, whether it's a catering, whether it's the cleaning, and so on and so forth. So your career growth is much, much more assured. And we'll induct you into our ways, and you get the benefits of that.
Somebody has argued, George, before that business process outsourcing is not necessarily a cost-cutting measure in terms of monetary terms. Could we have other benefits, but not necessarily cutting down your costs. Because you will hire a security company, the security company will charge you per guard. And this is how much you pay per guard. And this will keep changing every year as you renew the contract. You will hire a security officer directly, and you will pay X amount, which may even be less than what the security company is charging. So you're not necessarily cutting costs. Is that true?
It's not true. I mean, I think the whole, outsourcing process, if you get the right partner, you will certainly be able to cut costs. And costs can be cut right from the, the shillings that you pay, whether it's per person or, per service, all the way down to the risks. What people also don't understand is, what risk are you offloading? and so on and so forth. So there is a real, economy in outsourcing and outsourcing properly.
Demonstrate. Use that example of security. So you're outsourcing security.
Yep.
Because we see a lot that this happens. There are many security companies, and then they're attached because their company has outsourced security to this security company. What's the benefit? Where is the cost cutting coming in?
So are you talking about, say, between two security companies, or
No.
you had your own security company?
I am running a business.
Yep.
Okay. Initially, before the proliferation of all the security companies, I used to hire my own.
Correct.
Right. I would either hire them, then give them uniform and have a timetable. They come to work on this day. They have a supervisor, and the supervisor is doing that. I'm paying salary, I'm paying taxes, I'm paying everything. They are employed by my organization. And then this other scenario where I have outsourced that to a security company.
So,
and I have the service level agreement says I need 17 guards on duty every 24 hours.
So, I mean, number one, when you look at what you are paying as Company X versus what you're being charged by,
security company Y.
Why would you opt to go for security company Y when it is more expensive than what you are paying for your Company X?
My point exactly.
Perhaps if it's security, it isn't the cost. Perhaps is what I perceive to be better service. Perhaps is what I perceive as a confirmation that the personnel are better trained. A background check on them indicates clearly that they have more expertise in this line of work than the previous one. So the cost becomes a secondary factor.
Well, but ultimately, it will still end up as a cost saving, in my view, simply because, so if you've already considered those factors, you've considered the lack of a headache managing your own people, you've considered the fact that if one of them is sick today and you need a replacement, if they're working for you, you can't get a replacement because you would have to hire somebody or put somebody on standby. But in this security company, for example, they would be able to give you a replacement immediately. And so things like that, and off days and leave days. And just talking a bit more about what we do in Sebo. So like we, in our security we don't have boots on the ground, but we use technology. So, and our technology is, you can use it with any service provider. And so like most places, including probably here in, again, Standard Group, you've got CCTV cameras. But they're all static. You only see, whether people came in, went out, etc. But we can overlay technology in those cameras to tell you, which areas are being used more often.
No, just go back a little bit. This overlay.
Yes.
Okay. Now start.
So you've got a security company. Yes. You've got your CCTV cameras. Yes. You've got your whoever service provider that you have.
Yes.
Okay. As Sebo, we can be able to bring technology within the same system, so you still keep the
CCTV installations remain.
And even your security service provider
company remains.
But then we'll help you now get more refreshing data. So, for example, you'll be able to tell which corridors are more used more often, etc., and that can also inform, say, the cleaning process or which places to put, mag locks for entry. And
is it also possible to put in a system that guarantees you literally have to sign in before you actually come in?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible, including, I know we seem to have forgotten about COVID now, but the system as well can also take temperature checks. So you're passing through that camera all the time. It should be able to take your temperature, and it can flag. And we've done this especially in schools, for children, somebody's running a fever or something. And so it's taking it to the next level, basically. And that's why we're saying, yes, you can look at it just from the shillings and cents perspective, but how do you take this thing better, get more useful information, and be able to save costs.
So you're able to actually integrate systems
Correct.
for better efficiency,
Yes.
given what the demands of your clients are.
Correct.
Now, I really want to take you further back.
Let's do that. After the break.
Let's do the back thing after the break.
Yeah.
Let's take the break.
Okay, let's go forward. First, 29 minutes to 9. Kenya's biggest conversation, hosting George Maina. He is the managing director of Sebo Facilities Solutions Kenya Limited. We are talking about business process outsourcing and the importance of that, importance of thinking of non-core functions being outsourced to somebody else who takes care of that as you, as an organization, focuses on what is your core business. That's a conversation we'll be having after we're back. Good morning, live on Spice FM, KTN Home, YouTube, Facebook, X. It's okay. There's no why. TikTok, everywhere.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Patrick Lodge, Otieno Lumumba. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
CT Muga.
CT Lodge. Muga, not Muga.
He's here, and here's the day's proverb.
One man marries a woman, another man marries trouble. Is he the same man?
Spice.
A lion cannot eat more than 2 donkeys. It will die a natural death because there is no ICU in the forest. In Kenya, it has become the situation that you cannot conduct 2 elections. In fact,
With the same
Bukati,
IBC.
You can't.
I told you about this Indian friend of mine who was enjoying other Indians in the group. He wrote the word valve and told them, read it.
So how did he say it? I really want to know.
The valve. Kina Edna, it's like you said, the bees and the peas. Kila kitu mkisia akisema atasema opposite.
Opposed?
Ukisema hii anasema opposite.
Opposite.
Ukisikiliza namna hii unasikia opposite.
The Situation Room, Spice. The only way to start your day.
It's 17 degrees and sunny conditions in Nairobi. We'll see highs of 26 and lows of 15. Lows of 14 in sunny Nakuru and lows of 15 in a sunny Nyeri at 19. It's 17 and sunny in Eldoret, going to highs of 25 and lows of 13. We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions at 28 in Mombasa with highs of 32, and we'll see highs of 32 as well in a partly sunny Malindi at 29. In Kisumu this morning, it's sunny at 24 and sunny at 22 in Kakamega. As we look out into Kampala, the sun is up at 20 with highs of 28, and in Dar es Salaam, sunny at 28 with highs of 31. Johannesburg is sunny at 18 with highs of 27, and we're looking into a sunny Mogadishu at 30 with highs of 32. Addis Ababa is sunny at 17, highs of 26, and into a hazy Lagos at 23, we'll see highs of 32. Highs of 31 will be realized in Kinshasa, where it's mostly sunny at 25.
Spice up your life.
All right, so see traffic busy coming in from the city, rather into the city from the Thika Superhighway. That's heavy as you're coming in towards the Pangani Underpass. And also on Kiambu Road, in and outbound traffic is quite the thing. It's going to continue for some time from what we can see. But again, nothing too scary. Right now, Landis was busy early on, and we still see that business continuing as we're getting into it. Keeping an eye on things as what's coming in from the Thika Superhighway, but I think we should be fine. Limuru Road is also starting to look a bit messy earlier on. But I think that's going to open up and we should be all right. Yes, we're still in traffic hour. Let's see what happens as we go through it. Spice FM, KE on X.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself.
Our conversation continues 25 minutes to 9. George Maina, Managing Director, Sebo Facilities Solutions Kenya Limited. We're talking about business process outsourcing your non-core functions and the benefits of that. You want to take us back, City?
Yes.
Let's go all the way back.
I'm curious because this story, this is how legends are built. What made you think of this business?
Good question. So, I mean, one of the things, as I said, I was trained in the hospitality business, and I first went to work in Mombasa as my first job, and then fate took me to West Africa, where I worked.
What form did this fate take?
Ndu is nodding vigorously, like
that question.
Yes,
just continue.
Well, let's just say fate took me to West Africa.
Yes, West Africa, legends being made.
Legends were made there. And, so I ended up as what we call a camp manager in one of the remote sites where in a gold mining company, Anglo Gold, Shanti. And so from there, I started to wonder, how come in these remote places somebody would expect to get really good service, really good bed, real good food, etc., etc. And started my journey of doing this job. I went there as an employee. I ended up buying the company from the founder.
The company.
Yes, and the rest is history now.
Part 2 of your history question.
Well, history is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Okay. Think about it. See, I'm looking at the thinking process of simply looking at gaps that exist within organizations, which we now refer to as opportunities. You see, okay, that's what these guys do. Now, they are bothering doing this, but this really isn't their core business. For instance, it's like us. If we didn't have a cafeteria that's run by a catering firm, now imagine Standard Group employing people to cook.
Can imagine.
I can also imagine, I can also imagine the mess and the problem and the headaches that we would have. Okay? Or Standard Group employing security people. I can just, again, imagine, yes, you could employ them. And then what? It'll all get muddled up in your core business, and you'd actually stop focusing on your core business, dealing with these other issues. But now, is there a point at which your organization then looks and sees and says, but given what these guys are doing, I'm going back into history, we can as well take over this organization, because if we are running the extracurricular activities that they have, then chances are we can also run what they're doing.
Not
so bought off a client.
No.
Well, yes, because if you have the know-how to determine, look, this is your core business, and they acknowledge, actually, you're right, we don't need to be doing this, then it means you have moved yourself to the position where you actually understand their business. That's why you can tell them, this isn't your core business. Now, you see, the next logical step that I'm saying.
I don't think it will be the next logical step, because we pride ourselves in what we do. We're, in Kenyan parlance, KYM people. And that's our niche. What bothers most people is a joy for us, and that's why we will not. We don't care to be in the broadcasting business. We don't care to own,
You have no idea how lucrative it is, that's why.
We're happy where we are, and it's lucrative cleaning and catering and doing all of other things.
That's why, City. What is the core business of Sebo Facility Solutions?
So the core business of Sebo Facility Solutions is providing workplace management services. And what do we define workplace management services are? It's the non-core issues that you're working with. So everything from the gate, the security, you get to the reception, you find a clean environment. Everything works. The lift works. The ACs work, etc. You can go to the cafeteria and have a meal. There's water and so on and so forth. That is the core business of Sebo.
So you're all those other things?
We're all those other things that make this workplace enjoyable. That things that you will not notice. But if this office is not cleaned for 2-3 days, you will have a
notice.
problem. Correct. But generally, because it happens so seamlessly all the time, and you can walk down to the cafeteria and grab a cup of coffee or something, you really don't notice the effort that is put into, doing all of these things. And that's really what our core business is.
George, is SEBO an agency
No.
that then outsources this core function? I outsource the headache to you, then you deal with the various service providers? Or are you saying SEBO is the various service providers rolled into one?
So our uniqueness, and I guess that's really a very important question, is that we self-perform all of these services. So we do not outsource. So we have employees who work in cleaning, who work in catering, who work in technical repairs, maintenance, etc., etc. However, there are certain small items that could be specialized. So, for example, say, you don't want to stock lift spare parts for Schindler and so on and so forth. So you would outsource to a specific, or if there's, an OEM and there's a defects liability period and we've come to a client, then we'd work with the OEM and so on. But we do all the work. And in Kenya, we have over, 1,500 staff. Across the continent, we're about 33,000 people who do each and every piece of work that is required.
But surely, just like you're telling us at Spice FM, we must have our core expertise. Do you have a core expertise? Do you have something that you say, we are actually stronger in security services than we are in cleaning, or than we are in repairs and maintenance, or than we are in accounting and auditing functions?
So remember when I started, I said my background and the background of most of the people we work with is hospitality, hotels in particular. And so we endeavor to provide a hotel environment at the workplace, whether it's a factory and so on and so forth. And if you go to a hotel, everything is core, whether things are working, etc., the food, the beds are made, and so on and so forth. And so that's our principle. So I can't say just cleaning, I can't say just catering. It's all the services in the workplace that are relevant to making you feel comfortable. Because we want this to be a hotel without beds, basically. Yes.
So, I imagine that then you have a workforce that is huge. You just talked about 33,000 around the continent.
Yes.
In Kenya?
1,500 or so, plus or minus at any one time.
Right, across those functions.
Yes.
So do you then take on the needs of an organization? For example, you had a cleaning staff 50 strong. Okay, maybe that's a high number. 25 strong, whatever. And then you now say, we're going to replace with the number that you had before you released it to us? Or are you going to say, well, here's a more efficient model with which you can work, and maybe I will just give you five people that you can work with?
But the place will still be
as clean.
So that's exactly what we do. And talking about specifically about cleaning. So unlike most organizations who do cleaning as a standalone item, we like to price our cleaning based on square meters. And so we won't come and say, so you'll come and tell me I have 20 cleaners. But I'll say you might not need 20 cleaners. You might need 10 cleaners. But then we also need additional equipment. So, we can work the scrubbers and so on and so forth. So we give you a solution. That is why we're called SEBO Facilities Solutions.
Okay.
So the idea is to give you a solution, and still, circles back to the point about you will save costs. And just talking about right now in Kenya, there's a lot of hard economic times. Companies are closing, for one reason or the other. We are there to support those companies such that are there areas in your business that, we could partner with you, help you save costs, because we also want to continue to provide, employment for our people.
Yeah. Do you think that's where Kenya would be going? I remember walking into organization, and not here, another country, and there was one person. It felt like it was like a ghost town. There was one person at the reception, and she knew everything. She knew who was supposed to be going where, and this is your appointment, this is for this person, you go, you do your thing. I did not see anybody else And then I can't remember which floor I was going to, but got to the next, and then again, there's one person there, and things are working seamlessly. There's a coffee, there's tea, whatever. It was clear that the place was clean. And then you do your business, but the people on the floor who were handling this business had nothing to do with this person who's at the reception.
Correct.
Did not know. They just knew that there was a schedule. It's done. Is that
she was a concierge?
Yes,
she was
essentially
a business concierge,
right? And she was very clear about what it was. So much so that she was speaking French to me, but then the other person who came and speak another language, she was speaking to them in another language. Was able to run that seamlessly, and then they went up, did their thing, they finished. Do we get to the point where you can have businesses that run in that manner, whereby this function of receiving people can be across board for different organizations, and then now you're maximizing on efficiency but minimizing on numbers in terms of human resource?
It is. I mean, that's in Europe, North America, and now even in the Middle East, it's happening, and that's our aspiration. And what we're trying to do is de-risk the whole process, because people feel uncomfortable when new stuff is being introduced, and that's why I even said we normally try to do a step-by-step approach, look at what is low-hanging, so that then it builds the confidence and so on. But our aspiration is to get to where people are specialized, people are also learning new skills so that they can get other opportunities, and we continue to grow together.
As you speak, I'm smiling or smirking because I'm thinking of these buildings we have in this city where there's some form of security individual who's asking for your ID. Yes, that's what they do. Yeah. And you're caught between trying to explain to them that I actually cannot give you my ID. I can show it to you, and you're thinking, let's make this thing seamless. So now you get rid of that person because there are 3 or 4 of them. Yes.
Let's make it seamless. Yeah, that's the way.
Then you have one individual who seems to know exactly what needs to be done and walks you through the process. The image that has been given with the presence of the security personnel is that you then are supposed to feel secure. I usually don't feel very secure though, but the idea is I'm supposed to feel secure that this is happening. Now, as you speak, the optics I am seeing, and that's why I was smirking and smiling, is inefficiency, not efficiency. So when you are offering this service, I'm taking the view that part of what you're offering is efficiency.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned technology. How then does technology mesh in with this individual who is there providing this particular service to ensure that you get to where you're going in this building? How then do you meld the security element with this individual? Because the optics are pronounced security. These numbers were in these uniforms, which tend to be blue for some reason. Yes. So
I mean, these. So you're right when you say that you have to, gel both the people and the technology, and you won't get a place where we will completely eliminate people, because people also like to
talk to other people
and so on and so forth. But we can bring a lot of technology. I mean, one of the things as well is the way we do it now with, you write your name there and your ID. The laws of data protection are really, getting stricter. We do have a law on data protection. People should not be having this data sitting in every, building that you've ever visited in this town. And we know some of the conmanships that have come through is, people going to M-Pesa shops and probably getting some data, whatever, or other shops. So we intend to bring the right technology. Training is important, but more so as well ensure that both technology and the people, continue to give a good service.
What's the future in this, actually, when you talk about, innovation and technology coming in? What you are offering me is efficiency, right? That's basically what you're saying. I want you to be more efficient in your core business. And for you to be more efficient, you need to have all hands on deck doing what you ought to be doing. are not thinking about all these other things. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you come in and bring people to do all those other things. You could employ technology. What's the future of that, of having all these other non-core functions actually being outsourced? Could you say that now, because your core function is accounts, or your core function is this and the other, I can house you all in one place where then I provide these other peripheral solutions to all of you together?
It's something that has happened, and especially now with the advent of people working, from home, people are, trying to minimize on their real estate, how much you're paying for rent and so on and so forth. So, and there's a lot of co-working spaces, available. So, I mean, what are co-working spaces doing? They're doing exactly that. So different people from different organizations come, but they experience the same service, technology, whether it's the emails and so on and so forth. I mean, one of the other things that we do in a very big way is catering. We're probably one of the biggest catering companies that most people do not know about, because we cater for institutions, for factories, for schools and colleges. And we're currently, cooking between 15 to 20,000 meals a day. I don't think there's many hotels or organizations that can do that. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
So you have a central kitchen.
We have a central kitchen, and we also have kitchens in
satellite kitchens.
In satellite kitchens and kitchens in client premises, like what you have here. Yes, correct.
So, I hear you to be saying that these kitchens serve certain outlets.
Yes.
Are these outlets yours?
Yes. Well,
some are.
They're clients.
Our clients.
They're your clients.
So we're a corporate catering.
So you partner with them. Okay.
You've been hired by them.
CT Cafe. Okay?
I like the sound of that.
Okay. Now, meaning I come to you and I tell you this is what I'm going to be doing. So I don't really cook. You do the cooking for me.
Is that it? Is that what you're saying?
No. So
it's like
Standard Chartered Bank.
It's like Standard Group and our catering service provider.
Correct.
So also Sebo does the catering service provision. So Sebo would replace our catering service provider.
Yes.
There's that.
Yes, but you see, there is a reason why I'm saying CT Cafe. Let's say I have 10 restaurants in this town.
Not cafes. Not walk-in, walk-out. Cafes, mainly
corporate.
Yes, corporate. So there's
within
a captive market.
Within institutions.
Correct. Yes.
See now.
Yeah, there's a captive market.
Now I've seen the difference. And
Is the City Cafe your core business is the cafe?
You can't outsource
the cooking.
Yes, you see, again,
your core business.
Yes. No, it doesn't have to be my core business. My core business is to provide
the money.
Yes, no, to provide the service, because you see, if there's a centralized cooking, I can guarantee quality and standardization.
Or your core business can be the waiter
and dispensing the food. That is actually my to a retail market.
Waiter,
and this is my production, and this is my wholesaler.
So long as you have your menu, you say this is what I want to be serving every day. You bring the food. We handle the rest.
Correct. So actually, you're very right, and we do have a few of those clients where we provide some items. So it could be baked items, it could be stews, etc. Where they outsource. We provide, and then they'll do the finishing and client facing. Yes. Yeah. So yes, it's possible.
You're onto something.
Your City Cafe
can actually kick in.
Yes. So this headache of mpisha likongo na gari, I don't have that story.
Correct.
So just when we're talking about the other business, which is on the one that offering service, office services, right? Yes. So you've got all these co-working spaces. So co-working spaces are doing exactly the kind of thing that you're doing.
Yes.
Because you bring in all these companies are in this place, they are only paying rent for the desk and the small space that they occupy. The other guy is dealing with the cleaning, the security, the power, the internet connectivity, the concierge service, the mailing and all, and there's even a restaurant there. Similar kind of thing.
Yes, and we're actually even working with some co-working spaces and providing some of these auxiliary
Some of their auxiliary services.
Yes.
So that the co-working guy is only dealing with the real estate
Correct,
bits
yes.
of, okay, so
Yes.
this is the thing so
Correct.
then Sebo comes in to provide the security, to provide
The cleaning,
to
the
provide
food, etc. Basic repairs and maintenance and so on. Yes.
You know, in this kind of environment where FKE, like you just mentioned, FKE released a statement the other day and it was just a statement of distress. This is what's happening in many of our member organizations. We're having to downsize, we're having to let go, we're having to... How would you be able to alleviate some of this distress for companies?
So, I mean, we feel the pain, even us. Like just this year, we had to increase the social security and SSF by 880 shillings, the 1.5% housing levy. And so we've also been working with our clients and partnering with them to ensure that, again, as I said, we provide a solution. So some solutions are very basic to like, why do we need to clean during the day? Give us access, to clean, at night when there's no people, and, we can do the job with less people. And during the day, there'll just be, one guy, who just goes through 5-6 floors. You don't even get to see him or her for that matter. So it's coming up with solutions. And these solutions are whatever we can save. Will save a business. If it's overlaying technology in guarding, so why have a static guard, standing behind the wall, and just having a buzzer which that they have walked there every hour. Could you use the CCTVs in that area better, and things like that. So catering services as well, can we change the menu to a much more basic but nutritious meal still, and lower the cost because food year on year inflation has continued to go up. So it's coming up with solutions and seeing how do we keep businesses running and create a win-win situation for all of us.
Institutions, like schools are not they're schools that are businesses, they're public schools are not businesses. Would you offer services to the same? Yes,
we actually have quite a number of schools in our portfolio, and we're looking for other schools as well if anybody is interested. And we're offering the full service. So again, the teacher and the management of the school just comes and does what they're supposed to do, which is work on education, get the grades and so on and so forth. As we work on sorting out all the other things in the environment.
Including transport?
Well, right now we don't do transport, but we do have a partner whom we advise, if a school needs transport, we can point you in the right direction.
Okay. How does one get in touch with you? People are listening to this and thinking, hey, I'd like to talk to you.
Yes. You can get in touch with us via email. The email is info@sebo.com. You can also call us on 0722 755 033. And you can follow us, Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya, in all the channels, Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and which other one?
KBC.
TikTok.
Those ones. Yes.
All those
ones, yes. Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya.
Website?
Website, www.sebokenya.co.ke.
And if I'm in Rwanda or other parts of Africa?
+254 722 755 033. You can call and we will be able to help you.
Thank you, George.
You're most welcome.
George Maina, Managing Director, Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya Limited. More conversations coming, 9 a.m.
Spice up your life